Hey everyone, welcome back. And in the previous video, we have seen what are arrays and how you can create one. In this video, we'll be just diving into and playing around with the arrays. So let's see what all we can do with array or what all other things are possible in arrays. So in the previous video, we have already seen that using this particular statement, like saying like new int, you can create arrays, right? And you can specify the size, correct? And you have also seen what is indexing, how you can put up the elements and how you can retrieve them. Now let's see what happens. Let's take an example that I want user to give me an input and I create an array on the runtime. Basically, user can say that I want to enter 5 numbers and here are the 5 numbers. So I want to get the input in an array dynamically. So what I can do is, in order to achieve this, so first of all we need a scanner class, right? So I'll say java.util.scanner, okay? And let's make a scanner object here. So I'll say scanner equals to new scanner and system.in. Now our requirement is that we want to ask the user like how many elements he want to enter, basically what's the size of the array. Based on that, I want to create an array of dynamic size and I want to add elements to that. Okay, so see what I can do. Let's first declare our variables. I'll say integer my array, okay? And just look carefully, I'm not saying equals to new array, okay? Just a variable integer array, which is of type integer array. And let's say I say that integer x, okay? So these are my variables. Now see what I'll do. I'll first say that x equals to scanner.nextInt, basically asking the user to add an input, okay? And see what I can do. I can say that arr, which is my array, equals to new integer, and I can say x here. So this particular statement, what this will do is, let's say user enters 5 as the value of x. So there will be an array arr whose size will be 5. So now I can enter 5 elements into this array. Now how to take the input one by one from the user and push it into the array. So basically what I can do, now I'll be using our for loops, right? So I'll say that, hey integer, start with the 0 because the first index is 0, right? And go till the x, whatsoever number user has entered, and do one thing, just say that array at ith position, okay? So first time it will be 0, then 1 2 3 4, just set it equals to scanner.nextInt, basically ask the input from the user, and at the end just do one thing, print out the array. Now in this statement there is something interesting that I want to show you, okay? So let's run this program. And so my program is now running. Let's create an array of size 5. Okay, now what happened? An array has been created. Now I can enter 5 elements. So I'll say 1, I'll say 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now see what happens. What is this, right? I printed array, but why this weird number is getting generated? So let me tell you what is this number, okay? As I told you that when you create an array, okay, just look at carefully. When you create an array, this array is basically pointing towards a block, right? A blocks which is in contiguous memory, and this array always points to this first block, correct? Now when I say SOUTARR, right? So the address of this particular block in the memory is getting printed, okay? But obviously I don't want to print the address of this particular block. I want to print the whole array, correct? So we'll be understanding how we can print an array, but as of now you can use one thing. There is a class known as arrays, okay? So I can say arrays dot I can say toString, okay? Arrays dot toString, and then I can pass my array here. So what this statement will do is it will basically convert my array to a string and print it out on the console. So let's see. So I have run my program. So I'll say 5 elements, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So now as you can see, my array has been created with 1 2 3 4 and 5 elements. Let's run this program again, and I'll say I want to enter 7 elements this time. So 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 and yeah. So basically I'm getting 3 4 5 6 7 1 2. So I was able to enter 7 elements in the array, okay? So what I did, let's revise. So first of all I made 2 variables. I declared 2 variables, one of type integer array and second integer x. So first of all I'm asking the user to give me a number, and based on that number I'm creating an array of that particular size, right? And then what I'm doing, basically I'm going from 0 till the number till the number that user has entered. For example, if user says that I want to create an array of 5, so what will happen, 5 blocks will be created, okay, 3, 4 and 5. So what I want, that first enter in this number 0 and then go till 4, right, not 5, okay. So that less than, basically if I say less than 5, so this will be like 0 to 5, because 5 is not less than 5, right? So it will go till 5, go till 4th element, and then for each element what I'm saying, that hey, do a scanner.next int and push that particular thing into the array. So that's how you can take the input inside an array. Now let's see how you can print the array, okay? So currently we are using arrays class .toString method to basically print the array. But what if I want to print my array on my own? So I guess that you already know how to do that. So I'll say that, hey, just do one thing, pause this video right here and try to implement this thing on your own. And this is the hint, okay? This particular statement that I'm highlighting right now, treat this statement as a hint. And just pause this video right here. So I'll be counting 3, 2, 1 and then you can resume the video. So I'll say 3, 2, 1. So I hope that you have attempted this thing, but it's okay if you were not able to do. So what I'll do, I'll say that, hey, integer I equals to 0, I less than x, I plus plus, okay. Now what I can do, I'll say s out, basically system.out.println array at I. Just that's it, okay. So what this will do is basically it will again loop over my array and one by one we'll be printing our array. Here I was taking the input and here I am printing. So now if I run my program, see what will happen. Let's make an array of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now see what happens. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has been printed by this loop. Okay, what if I don't want to, press and enter here, like these are in new lines. So basically what you can do is, instead of saying print line ln, you can remove the ln word, basically line. Now see what happens. Now I can say, hey, enter 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is coming into a single line. So that's how you can take input from the user for an array. You can basically print an array. Let's see a couple of more examples to basically understand arrays more clearly. So let's say I have an array, okay, array, and let's declare it as it is, okay. So I'll be declaring an array of 5 elements and let's populate it as well, okay. So I'll say, this array is 4, 10, 4, 5 and 3, right? And let's say 8. Now what I want to do is write a program that calculates the sum of all these numbers, basically adding the numbers inside an array. So pause this video right here and try to do it on your own, okay? So I hope that you have done this program. So let's see how we can do it. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll make a result variable and initialize it to 0. So basically our result is 0. Now see what I'll do, I'll say that, hey, loop, start from the 0 and go till array.length, whatever is the length of the array, and increment the I every time, and do one thing, that hey result, now you are equals to result plus array at element I. So basically I'm adding the array each time to the result, okay. And then similarly what I can do, I can say that, hey, print the result. So I can say that result is result. So let's try to run this program and we are getting 34. So basically the sum of these numbers is 34, which is correct. Now we can even simplify this statement, right? As I told you, like what you can do is I plus plus for incrementing I by 1. So what you can do, you can remove this result here. Okay, you can remove this plus operator and you can say plus here. So result plus equals to ARR at I basically means the same thing, that result is equals to result plus ARR. So both these statements means the same thing. So you can write it as it is also. So result plus equals to ARR at I, that add the ARR every time to the result itself. So that's how you can calculate the sum of numbers, okay. You can even do it like from the scanner class, like ask the user how many numbers you want to enter, input those numbers and then sum them up and display the result. So that's how you can loop over the array. So now you know what are arrays, how to create an array, how to take input from the user, and how to basically display the array and sum up the array. Okay, let's do one more question. Let's do. Let's say let's say I say that user, like this is my numbers, right? Random numbers. Let's add more. 10, 4, let's say 7, and let's say 3. Okay. Now I'll say that s out, that hey user, what do you want to find? Okay, basically user will enter a number that he wants to find in this array. Now I'll say that hey integer x equals to scanner dot next int. So let's say user says that I want to find 3. So what we'll say that he'll say that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That hey, we have found 3 on the index 0. We have found index number 3 on which index 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the index 4. So this is the program that you have to make. Basically, you have to search an element in the array and print out the index of that particular element. Okay. So again, pause this video right here and okay, now let's see the solution. Now what I'll do, I'll say, first of all, we have to traverse, right, from 0 till arr.length, arr.length and I++. Now see what I can do, that if the array element at I, okay, is equals to x. So I'll say that s out found at index, which index? I can say I, and this is my program. So if I run this program right now, so let's try to find this 10. So what do you think will be the output? So like it's like 0 and 1. So 1 should be coming. So if I say 10, so oh, I got 2 occurrences, right? So I got a 1 on the index 1 and here is also a 10. So I got at 6 also. So basically now I know that on which index my 10 is present. Similarly, we can do it with 4, right? So we found the 4 at index 0, index 2 and index 7, which is absolutely correct. Okay. What if I want to find only the first occurrence? So what will I do? Let's say I just want to find the first occurrence. Pause this program right here. Think a little bit and do it yourself. You can easily do this. So pause this video right here. Okay, so now how we can do is, what I'll do, I'll make a boolean found, okay, and I'll set it to false, that hey, I haven't found. Now see what I'm going to do here is, okay, let me tell you the simplest way first. For the first occurrence, what you can do is, basically if you found now, just say break. Okay, what this break will do is, like when you're here, right, and you found something, you do break, you will be thrown out of this loop. Okay, so as soon as you find an element, you will be thrown out of this for loop. So let's say I run this program and I say 4. So found at index 0, and as you can see, no more further system.out.println. So if I say 10, I only get the first occurrence. Okay, so that was a program to find the first occurrence of a number. So break statement basically throws you out of the loop. So this break statement, what it does is it basically throws me out of this loop. Okay, you can only use break statements inside a for or a switch statement. If I try to put break here, see what happens. Okay, see you are getting an error that break outside switch or loop. So you can only use break inside loops or the switch statements. Okay, now what if I want to like say that find the last occurrence of this number. Okay, so like 4 is present on the 0, then I can see on the 2, right, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then on the 7. So I want you to find the last occurrence of this number. We have seen all the occurrences, we have seen the first occurrence. What if I say you that find the last occurrence? So pause this video right here again and try to do it yourself. Okay, so now let's see the solution. So what I'll do is I'll say that integer index, basically this is my result, and let's set it to -1. -1 basically means that I haven't found, right? Now what I'll do, instead of s out, okay, I'll say that index equals to I, okay, and remove this break statement. Okay, and outside of this loop, just do an s out of the index. That's it. Now you can find the last occurrence of that particular element. So if now I run the program and I say 4, so I'm just getting this 7, that hey, that 4 is at the 7th position, right, at the 7th index, and that is the last occurrence of my 4. Okay, So what it is doing is basically we are overwriting the value of this index again and again. So anytime I find the value, I'll overwrite it. So basically first the value of index will be 0. Then next time when it finds, it will overwrite the index, and basically it will overwriting till I find the value. So when this loop ends, I'll be left with the last occurrence of a particular number. So that's how you can do many things using array. So I hope the concept of arrays are really clear to you, like how to like this thing is known as traversal. Basically when you move on the array one by one, so that you call this term as traversal. Okay, so this is array traversal. So what you have done, you know that using traversal you can print an array, you can sum up that array, you can find the elements, you can insert elements. So pretty much you can do anything on arrays. Okay, so I would like you to play around with arrays a little bit more. So play around, have fun, and let's meet you in the next video. Until then, bye bye, take care.